method of eating radish has changed the way that I see radish. I had cancelled growing radish a long time ago, not because it wasn't easy to grow. In fact, it's one of the easiest and fastest crop to grow. In about 4 weeks, you will start harvesting. From when you put the seed in the ground, you would start harvesting. That's how easy and fast radishes grow. But I decided to stop growing radish because I just found it really hard to eat. And for years, my Nigerian palate had refused or has found it difficult to adjust to the taste of radish. And I could only tolerate a few slices in my salad. And salad is not what I eat every day, even though I grow my own food. It's just not in my everyday meal. So most times I end up, giving out the radishes away or putting it in my compost bin. So I felt like I was wasting my time growing what I didn't like, and that's why I gave it a break. But this time around, I decided to have radishes differently since the seed pack came free of charge and I planted it anyway. So instead of eating it the usual way that I did and didn't like it, I decided to try a different method by adding salt and sugar to vinegar and clean water, boiling it for a little bit, letting it cool down, and then adding it to my chopped up radish, chopped and cleaned. I made sure that I let the brine cool down before pouring it into the jar of radish. I didn't want to cook the radish in any way so that I don't get rid of some of the nutrients. So I'm only just going to let this sit in my kitchen for about 24 hours before I start eating. So I noticed that the radish color was already leaching into the water and making it look this beautiful after a few hours. And then 24 hours later, this is what we have. I'm ready to taste my pickled radish. I did 2 jars because I harvested more. And now it is time for judgment. This experience will decide if radish is what I will stop growing completely, even if I get the seeds free of charge. I gave it a good sniff and it smelled good. I already had a good feeling about it because I've been pickling and fermenting some of my vegetables and I love how they taste. In fact, that was what inspired me to pickle this radish and know if I will eventually like it. I just kept eating and eating. I didn't stop. And I found out that I've just been missing out on a lot. I've been throwing my radishes away, composting them to be precise, or giving them out and not eating them enough. I have been missing. So if you're like me and you can't stand the taste of radish, let this video inspire you to pickle your radish. It may change your mind about radish. I never in my wildest dream thought that I would love radishes the way that I love it after pickling it, because I'm sold and I'm looking for radish, even though I have more planted in my garden. But I'm definitely going to be growing more radishes because of these beauties. They've made me fall in love with growing radish, growing and eating radish. Before, I just grew it for the fun of it and because it was easy and fast to grow. It literally takes about 4 to 5 weeks to be ready from when you put the seed in the ground. But this has changed. This method of eating radish has changed the way that I see radish. I'm definitely going to be growing more of it and eat it this way. I can just snack on this. I'm almost done with this because you guys know how full it was. I'm almost done with it. I'm sure that by the end of the day, this bottle would have been done. And the good thing is I can always reuse this brine. I added tapache, an old tapache that I made with pineapple and jaggery, just a little bit, and then vinegar, water, sugar, and salt. Nothing else. And then I added garlic, 2 cloves of garlic in each of them. I didn't want to add pepper because this was already spicy, but this is amazing. So to demonstrate further on how to reuse the brine, I'm going to go into my garden and harvest cucumber that I will be adding to the brine. I'll also be taking some dill leaves to add to the brine. So I just picked cucumber and dill. So, because I'm going to eat more of this, or I've already eaten to my satisfaction, I want to add these guys into here so that in a few hours I'll be able to have some of the cucumbers that I just harvested from it. So after adding the cucumber and dill, I let it sit for another 2 days, and the plan was to let it sit for a few hours and have it in the evening. But I totally forgot all about it, and it sat in my kitchen cabinet for 2 days. I've not even eaten the garlic. Look at it now. Can you eat it maybe later today? Tasting the cucumbers. So beautiful. I already took some out of it. We have our dill. Okay, so let's bring out the radish so that we know what it tastes like today after adding cucumber and dill. This is the radish. It definitely changed. The dill changed the taste of the radish.